The Chicago Blackhawks, maybe they're better than what we thought. Maybe just a little bit. Nazar, Bedard, and Teravainen are off to really hot starts. And, of course, Spencer Knight is off to a phenomenal start. We keep talking about this kid every single week, that he just keeps playing good hockey. And maybe this team is a 500 team. I know it's early.
That's a little high. I mean, good start to the year for sure. I really like Frank Nazar showing up to the season and kind of like shutting down the critics, saying
My
like,
bad.
I mean, it was fair to question it though.
Hmm.
I would say it's more of a question for the Blackhawks management than the player.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm never gonna fault a player for taking a contract that's offered to him. The
Hmm.
team offered you the contract. Who are you to not take it? Right? You
Right.
have every right to take it. But the Blackhawks, I would say more so are shutting people up. Nazar has been electric to start the year. Connor Bedard looks a little bit more determined this year, and he's just not gonna let the rest of his team drag him down. And like Spencer Knight has been awesome for them.
He just last show who they hired over the offseason to come in and be a head coach for them. He actually looks like he has this team playing fast. They have quick decision making, better decision making at both ends of the ice, and they just seem overall more confident. And their wins, listen, they're not pretty wins because of course, they're still getting outshot heavily like they always have been,
That's
but you know
big for
what? They're
them, though.
winning.
It's important to them for a very young team like this to figure out different ways how to win.
Right, you don't have to win in 6-5. Well, if you can win 6-5 games, if you can win 2-1 games, they ended up winning 3-1 against Utah with 14 shots on net. And you want to know something? On Wednesday night, they beat a team that's supposed to be competing for a playoff spot, the Blues as well, eight
Hmm.
to four, and that's showing you that they can not only win a low scoring game of 4 goals, but they can also win a high scoring game of 12
I was
goals.
really impressed with them. I watched like their opening game against the
Hmm.
Panthers, and they played a really strong game in
Hmm.
there too. I mean, Spencer Knight kind of held them in there, but they didn't give up the fight.
They're playing hard, and this team is showing that they know they're not supposed to be good, but you know what? They don't give a flying fuck. They are gonna play hard for 60 plus minutes a night, whether it takes extra time or not. And you know what? I've been impressed with Connor Bedard so far. He's not he's not making a bunch of highlight reel plays, but you know what? He's still producing on the stat sheet
But
and
he
off the
can't.
stat
He
sheet.
can take over a game. I think if he needs to.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like we've seen it his first 2 years where he's all over highlight reels. He's making these insane plays, and his teammates are just fucking up. You know what? He understands that in the NHL, you're not going to make a highlight reel play every single night. Just get to the hard areas, get to the dirty areas, make the simple pass, make the smart
Hmm.
decision. If that's a simple zone entry and then just tapping it back to the point to start a cycle. That's all it takes. You don't always need to go through three defenders in order to make a play, right? And I think he's understanding that. I think Jeff Blashill has him understanding that, and that's growth right there. That's development right there.
Hmm.
I think that's what helps him take Bedard to the next step and be more consistent in this league.
I think Connor Bedard will be the captain of the Blackhawks in a year or two.
Yeah.
Whenever Nick Foligno moves on from the team, obviously they're not going to strip the C away from him. Uh, but I think Bedard's on track to be the captain of the Blackhawks in a couple years.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bedard's growing as a leader in that locker room as well too, and I mean he's in his third season now, and it's only a matter of time where Nick Foligno can only play for so much longer, right? And when
Hmm.
he's off the Blackhawks team, I think Bedard will, if he's not a captain, he'll at least have an A. He doesn't have an A right now, does he? No, no, he doesn't.
I'm not sure.
Not sure. He probably fucking does now that I said he doesn't.
I mean, I could check real
I
quick.
mean, yeah. Anyways, so like. Bedard's one of these guys where it's more than just about growing as like a player on the ice. It's about off the ice as well. He is brought in right after Patrick Kane and
No,
John.
he does
He
not have
does
a
not have an
letter.
A.
Nick
Sweet.
Foligno's the captain. Jason Dickinson has an A, and Connor Murphy has an A. So it's all vet leaders.
There we go. So yeah, I think if he doesn't get to see, at least it'll be an A. But I've been impressed with this Chicago Blackhawks team so far, and I expect them to keep it up. Even Tyler Bertuzzi is playing good hockey so far as well.
I
Which,
mean, this team's got money to spend next year too. They have, I mean, right now they have $15 million in cap space,
yep.
which is a lot. And then next year they are projected to have. Why isn't it loading? $54 million in cap space.
You-
They do have to sign Connor Bedard. He's going to get probably as big of an extension as they can give him,
Yep.
term wise. Uh, and other than that, though, they don't really have a ton of high profile players that get signed. Lucas Reichel's not going to demand a ton of money and stuff like that. Levshinov's a year or two away. They don't even have a Shea Weber on LTAR. Like that's how much cap space they have. They need
They
Shea-
need him on the roster in order to be at the floor.
yeah. So
That's funny.
they can go big game hunting next year in free agency if there's any good free agents left at this point.
Yeah.
Sounds like everyone's just keeping their players. So
You know what? If you're the Blackhawks, though, this is the exact position you want to be in. And I've apologized every time we talk about the Blackhawks. I apologize for Davidson because one episode I went on and I was fucking bashing him for how he was handling the street.
I think he's done a good job. Like I haven't really had too many issues of what they've done the last few years. I think last year was obviously. I mean, I didn't think they were going to be good, but
No.
I didn't think they were going to be that bad.
He's handled this rebuild well, and he hasn't rushed it either. He's just relied on drafting and developing and not making. He didn't need to go out and sign a Mitch Marner if he ended up hitting the open market, for example.
That would have been nice.
That would have been nice. He didn't really make a huge run at Nikolai Ehlers either. I mean, I don't think.
Well, you have to
Ehlers
manage your expectations too.
Right.
With a lot of these veteran star players, like, yeah, you can pay them, but like, you're Mitch Marner and you're up at UFA and you're looking around. And, the Blackhawks are offering you more money than anybody else by like $1 million or $2, but you know that they're not necessarily in a place to win a Stanley Cup in the next 3-4 years. So you kind of have with a veteran player like Ehlers as well. Like he's running out of time to win a Stanley Cup, and he's going to want to go to a team where he has a chance he can win that in the first few years of his contract.
Yeah. This is an NHL GM franchise mode where you can offer him $3 million more than every other team. It's like, well, you signed me.
Yeah, like very could well work, but
maybe I mean, it could work. Maybe that player wants to play for the Blackhawks for some reason. I mean, that's not a bad thing.
Chicago was
like
a good hockey market. Players don't have an issue with playing there. I still think probably in a year or two they'll really start being ready to make playoff pushes.
I agree with that statement. I'm excited to see where this rebuild takes them.